Okay, here is a very simple tutorial on how to use a tripod. I'm going to show you how to take the tripod out of the bag, plug the shoe mount into the camera, and then also put the camera on top of the tripod and all the various functions of a very simple tripod. Your tripod comes in a bag like this, okay? You'll take the tripod out of the bag by simply unzipping the bag. Then, if it's coming out, you just go ahead and pull it out, feet first usually. So this is your tripod, very basic, very simple. The most simplest and easiest function of the tripod is to pull out all the legs, which you should do first to make it as tall as possible. You will do that by unsnapping these little protectors that go around each portions of each leg. There are 3 of them. So you unsnap them, you pull them out just like this. Okay, and if you turn your tripod like this, they will all just plop straight down. The most important second part, if not the most important part of the entire tripod, is then locking them so that you don't break your camera when you mount it and they just simply fall. So you have to lock all the little leg holders. This is so that you can adjust your tripod to its size. In the middle of the tripod here is a little button or a little knob. You can turn this knob right here, you can see it. You can turn it to tighten it or allow it to open fully. That will allow you to open the tripod. So when it's unscrewed, you can push it up, and when you push it all the way down, you screw it in place so that it doesn't move again, so that it's all solid when you put it on the ground. Now, your tripod is on the ground. It is set. It is on the ground, okay? And now, the next part of the tripod is to turn the top portion so that you can mount your camera. Okay, so this is where you mount your camera, but first we want to turn it upright so that we can mount our camera on top of it, okay? There's all these different screws and little functions that it has that you can see here on it. The most important part is just to turn it upright, okay? So it's now upright. This is where your camera is going to go. Why is it doing this? Well, it's so that you can position your camera to however you want it to, angle a person during an interview. So if they're shorter, you can angle the camera up and back. To stop that from happening, just twist this. You twist it. So the tighter it is, it won't move anymore. The looser it is, it allows you to move it. Now, why is it turning this way? You can turn it 360 degrees. Well, that's this function. It's the little knob on the side. You can see it from the side here. Once I tighten this, you can't move it anymore, okay? So that's how you position the tripod so that it will face and capture the angle that you want to capture. So now, before I mount my camera, I'm going to make sure that everything is tight on my tripod. All tight, so that when I put the camera on it, it doesn't move, okay? Now, here's the second most important part, is the mount. The mount should be in your tripod upon arrival as it was delivered to you. To release the mount, you're going to pull the mount release, which is this function right here. You pull it back, it unlocks it, and you can simply slide your mount out. You can see there's a square section in here, there's a kind of a square section on the bottom here, and that's how it goes in and out, okay? And then it locks back in so it doesn't come out, okay? So you unlock it, you pull your mount out, and it's now bare in here. Remember, one last thing is that your mount will also move if you unscrew this portion here, as you can see here, and it goes like this in case you want to turn your camera sideways. You want to make sure that this is also screwed tight and done so that your camera doesn't move when you put it down. So you have your mount now. This is your mount. This is the top of it. This is the part that's going to screw into your camera. Here's the flip side of it. The way to screw it into your camera is by simply pulling this little portion out. You can see it sideways now, and it acts as a screw. You can screw this, okay? So here's our camera. We've got our camera here, standard Canon GL2, and on the bottom of it, you'll see that there's a screw mount with some threads, and also this second little portion that will capture this other little silver button right here, okay? It's just a locking mechanism so that you have to get both in so that your camera can't slip. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this, we're going to push it up against our camera, making sure that we've got both the screws in and also the little locker in. And then we simply just screw it in. Simply screw it in. Okay? The whole time making sure that your lock stays locked so that your camera won't budge. Now we've screwed it. It's all tight. It's not moving. And we'll tuck that back in. This is how you screw it and unscrew it. We tuck it back in. Okay? And now we have our mount on the bottom of our camera, as you can see here. It's mountable. Okay? So now take our tripod. Okay? And just like before, we want to unlock it. Take our camera and put it in. You have to kind of angle it in so that the lip catches underneath the tripod area. So you're locking it in and then lock. And now it doesn't move. It won't move off of here if it's locked in properly. The most important part is making sure that it is locked in. So that now, if you want to change your angle on your interview, as we mentioned before, you can unscrew this and you can move your camera up and down. Now, if you haven't locked this right here, if it's unlocked, when you go like this, your camera's going to fall out, and that's going to be a very expensive error. So you make sure that your camera is locked in. Go ahead and screw this tight because we have captured our angle. If we want to turn it left or right, we unscrew this little knob here and turn it left, right, done. So we have our tripod locked in, and that is how you mount a camera on a tripod. Now, to take it off, simply unlock it, pull your camera off, and you can capture more B-roll. The idea is to always have your mount on just in case you want to throw your tripod on. Throw this on your tripod, lock it in, and you can do your interview directly after. It just makes it for a quicker access to the tripod. And that is how you mount a camera on a tripod.